Hi, this is my How's Your Soul reflection. So I wanted to do a video reflection. I know it's not very creative, but it did say etc. And I'm a very much a verbal processor, so I felt like this would be more productive than me trying to, let's say, write an essay or try to write a poem or a song because I'm also not that creative. Uh, and I really appreciated our case study video reflections throughout the summer and the fall. Those were just very beneficial to me to be able to verbally process kind of what I was thinking about those case studies, and then also in turn hear the others like kind of verbal processing it. So, starting off with my spiritual goals, just kind of listing off my goals, talk about waking up every morning at 6 a.m., doing a devotion, starting my day with prayer, ending my day with prayer, keeping a journal, looking at historical figures, reading 2 books of historical preachers, and meeting with my mentor. Um, a lot of that I didn't do. I'll be honest, I didn't do it, or didn't do it consistently. I did try to do it. Mostly just because I never woke up at 6 a.m. really, just because I was up later the night before, whether it was work, homework, or just kind of having time with my wife. Um, I did start my mornings with prayer, but it didn't happen the way I thought it was going to. I was thinking like it'd be part of my devotion time, but it was actually more of like kind of happened in my drive on the way to where I was going in the morning. So on the way to work or to church or wherever it might have been. It was just kind of part of that process. So that was a little different, but still good. As far as reading books, I did start reading the books. I just haven't finished them yet, and they've been really good. I've really enjoyed reading them, the amount that I have, and I'm looking forward to finishing them. Um, so that's just kind of it. But I'll kind of hit on those things a little bit later and some of these other topics. As far as the personal sacred time, I am, while it's not very consistent, like daily, it is a lot more consistent than what it was before I came to DTS. I was pretty stagnant before DTS, and that's saying a lot because it was stagnant in a time when I had a lot more time. And now when I'm busy as all get out, I am having devotion times much more frequent, which I think is a very good step in the right direction. Um, and so I think probably what hinders me the most is just kind of burnout, honestly. I'm just pulled in so many directions that the time I do have, I don't want to really do it on another thing I have to do. I'd rather do something that's more enjoyable to me. Now I know that's something I need to fight through because a devotion time should also be enjoyable. Like I'm spending time with the Lord. That should be an enjoyable time to have. Um, so I think if I was to give advice to somebody who's coming into seminary, uh, be very organized with your time. Like I'm not a very organized person, but I've realized I've had to be a lot more organized with my time and become that way, be a lot more administrative, which are not my skills. And there's still room for improvement, but I've definitely taken steps forward in that. Um, so with that, like being so busy, I do deal with anxiety and worry quite a bit, and so uh, that's been something I have had to work through. Um, but I try to remember that God's in control. I think about Proverbs 3:5-6. Trust in the Lord with all your heart. Lean not on your own understanding. Trust in Him. Trust in Him. He'll make your straight path straight. Make your path straight. Sorry. Um, but yeah, I try to remember that whenever I'm dealing with worry because God's the one who brought me here. I'm only at DTS because God made it happen. And so if God is the one who brought me here, then He's not going to allow me to fail. I mean, I still have to be faithful in it and put in the work, but I just remember that He's in control and that He's not going to give me any more than I can handle, and He will help me with that. Um, and then also meeting with my mentor, which my second mentor, Heather knows this, I had to switch mentors. My second mentor has been very valuable to me just because we've been able to meet more often. and it's been somebody I've been able to really kind of talk to about my emotional health and my mental health, and amongst my spiritual health too. Like I've been able to talk about burnout and how I'm feeling, and then just my frustrations. And he's just been able to. He'll sit there and listen, but he'll also give me feedback and tell me what he thinks, which I've been so appreciative of. And I'm so thankful that even though it was kind of rough that I had to switch mentors, like it's been good in the long run. I've really enjoyed our time in our meetings. Um, so talking about time, I kind of mentioned this earlier with like staying up late and not waking up at 6 a.m. Uh, Evaluating my time, I've done a lot of that in the past couple of weeks because I realized spending way too much time watching TV, way too much time playing video games. Um, like, because TV was kind of my way, like my wife and I's way of like bonding or hanging out because we watched TV shows together and talk about it and stuff like that, which is not necessarily bad. It was excessive. So we actually finished a TV show last week or 2 weeks ago, and I was like, no more. Like we have one show now that we watch live, so week to week, and I told her we're not adding anything else because I need to focus. Like I can't keep having these distractions. And then with the video games, I'm not a huge gamer, but it's something that has been too excessive. And so I've tried to monitor that by either like saying like wait till the weekends to play video games or wait till you finished what you need to do for the day. Or if you need a break, okay, take a break. You can do that, but monitoring how much time I'm doing that. So setting a time limit, like okay, 30 minutes. Then I gotta come back and start working again. So not perfect with that, but I am trying to monitor that, organize that, administrate that, so that way it's not being excessive. Um, and then even kind of talking about sin struggles, something else also in the past couple weeks I've really tried to be intentional about, because God was convicting me of it. So just being honest, just I mean, I feel like most guys deal with pornography or lust, but also even just kind of for me, kind of laziness too. Um, and part of that's from burnout, but it still doesn't. It's not a great excuse, at least in my mind. If I know it's burnout, like I can find ways to work around that. I would feel like, but I've asked somebody to be my kind of accountability partner, just to ask how I'm doing every week, just because I was feeling convicted. I didn't have anybody like that, and I've been searching for somebody like that, and it's just been kind of hard to find somebody outside the church because for my own reasons, I believe it should be somebody outside the church. Um, but I don't know a lot of people outside of our church. So I finally found somebody, and he said yes, thankfully. And so I'm looking forward to how that relationship progresses. And then I want to take steps to even like put like web blockers up to kind of safeguard myself that way. And then like I even said with like the laziness, I've been trying to be more mindful of it or kind of organize, administrate my time more effectively to try to fight that sin in my life. So as far as prayer, how you can pray for me and pray for my wife, just how I deal with stress, just that I don't let it overwhelm me and I don't worry about the things that I can't control. And just also burnout, just helping me fight through that. And then also with hopefully graduating next May, starting to look for jobs and just pray for that God will provide and also provide for my wife or wherever we go that she would be able to find a job. So yeah, that is my reflection, and thank you so much.